Hi and welcome. Today I have a super easy art journal idea for you. I'm working in this book from the flea market and I'm starting with my Gesso pages and some stamps. It might be a little bit noisy in the background because I have the windows open and we have a lot of animals outside, like chicken, don't know if you hear this, sheeps, and also some frogs. And there is a lot going on, so I hope that does not bother you. Here I'm trying to align the stamp with the acrylic block in my book so that the acrylic block does not go over the spine from my book. And as this stamp is brand new and hasn't been used, I will first stamp it on a sheet of scrap paper just to get the first sticky layer of that stamp. I'm using Versafine Clair for stamping because this is my favorite ink for the clear stamps. It stamps really dark, intense, and waterproof. It takes a little bit longer to dry compared to StazOn or archival ink. I'm really happy with the result, and I think I now can stamp directly into my book. The right page shouldn't be a problem because there is nothing underneath than blank pages. I often get asked about the quality of the images when you're stamping, and that sometimes the images are not really dark and your impression is not the best. What I think one of the most important things is you have to have a full ink pad. So always make sure that your ink pads are well re-inked. You don't save ink when you work with a half full ink pad. It's better to just always have it refilled so you get better images. For the left side, I will also stamp the flower first on a piece of paper, and then I will lay a piece of foam underneath the page to make sure to get a good impression. I'm giving it a good press because there are some things underneath, and you can see a little gap here because of that tab that is glued to the other page, but I don't really mind that. I will now use some of the other stamps from the set to fill in the page a little bit more, and when I've done that I will go in with my watercolors. This is really a super simple page, something that you can do when you maybe have no creative mood, or you need something to warm up or to start, or you just want to finish a page in a journal. I also love flowers and playing with watercolors, and so this was a nice way. I used the same technique to make my Mother's Day card this year. I just used a piece of old book paper, gessoed it, and then I stamped the left flower and colored it in with watercolors. I cut that out and adhered it to a card, and that was really pretty. By the way, I have teamed up with Etchr, and I will have a live abstract watercolor painting session. It's not only watercolor, it's watercolor and mixed media. A painting session next Tuesday. I will give you more information over on my Instagram page, and you will also find it on the Etchr pages. It will be a 30-minute painting demo to show you what I will teach in the 90-minute workshop I will give on the Etchr Studio website. They have amazing classes about watercolor, urban sketching, painting, drawing, all kind of that stuff. And I really like their classes. And yes, I will teach a workshop there, and you will get the demo next week, and then you can see if you like that. I also add some black acrylic ink splatters to my spread because I feel that makes it look more vibrant and loose and gives it just more interest and depth. I waited a little bit to make sure that the ink is completely dry, and here I'm coloring in the pages with my watercolors. I have speeded this process up a little bit because it takes a while to color in all the areas. What I really love is how watercolors look on a Gesso page. It's a huge difference compared to normal watercolor paper because you get these blotchy areas and watercolor blooms, and also the colors stay more vibrant than on watercolor paper. The watercolors I'm using here are from Van Gogh. Well, most of them. Some I have added on my own to this palette because I missed some colors. I believe that was the cobalt turquoise and the opera rose. I can't remember which blues and turquoises I've used on this spread, but I think that's not super important. Van Gogh is one of my favorite watercolors. They are not expensive, but they have great quality, and I totally think it's a great beginner paint. If you're starting out with watercolors and you don't know if it's something that you like or if you just need them to do some crafting projects or from time to time, I would recommend getting yourself some of their paints. I was inspired to use this book as an art journal by a great class I took on Domestika. I will give you the link to the class in the video description, and it's really interesting how the artist is using his old books to create new sketchbooks. I'm now going in with a turquoisey blue again, just to give the background some more variation. I now go in with my colors for the flowers, and I'm using kind of a complementary color scheme. I'm using pinks and a bit of orange because I really love how those colors are mixing. And I think this is the Opera Rose I'm using here. It's one of my favorite colors. It's almost a neon color. Whenever you have too much paint or water on your page, you can just dry your brush and soak that up. By the way, this coloring part is in real time. If it's a bit too slow for you, I just recommend speeding the video up a little bit in the YouTube settings. And here I just switched colors because I didn't like the first one I wanted to use. And I believe I'm using kind of a yellow ochre or a Naples yellow for the first layer here. Naples yellow and this pink Opera Rose mixes so beautiful. I also want to mention that we will soon be on holidays for 2 weeks, so we will be away 1 week, but we will have no shipping for 2 weeks. You will find all the details on the shop page, and it will be from June 1st. Yes, June 1st to June 14th, and you can order, of course, from the shop, but shipping starts on the 14th. For the leaves, I'm using different greens just to get in some variation. Here I missed a part of the background. I'm just going in with that turquoisey blue again. You can see on the top right that I have also prepared my metallic watercolors because I thought I might add some to the spread, but finally I didn't add any shimmery paints. Here I'm just searching for a smaller brush to paint in the smaller elements. Yes, and that's all about today's page. Super easy and really relaxing to do. And I wish you a nice weekend. I hope you enjoyed that video. And we see us maybe next week over at the Etchr channel. Bye!